Hi, we're Owen and Lynn of Van Trekking Lifestyle.
And today we're going to do another walking Q&A where we answer a few of the questions that you guys have asked us in the comments before.
Wow, we're hiking at Stone Mountain in North Carolina.
To one of our favorite places, a little private little place called Wolf Rock. In our backyard, this is about as good as it gets. The very first question comes from our friends Wayne and Mary, and they want to know, with the insulation that we put above the cab, did it help reduce the noise going down the road? So what do you think?
I don't think it's noticeable for me. But,
as far as an improvement.
Yeah, but I'm sure it helped a little bit, but not a whole lot.
When we ride around in our Subaru, when we get in the EKKO, it sounds noisy. But if we go for a 10-day trip in the EKKO, by the time we get in on the second day, it doesn't seem noisy. So I guess it's just what you get used to.
I think so.
I think what we're finding with the EKKO is most of our noise is coming from the entrance door. That seems to be a really sore spot there where wind is hitting the side of it.
Right. But we got rid of the TV, and that did make a little bit of noise.
If you know a way that we can help reduce some of the noise, let us know down in the comments, and we'll keep walking. I didn't bring the water.
Maggie, got her all excited about getting water.
There's no water in here, Maggie.
Oh, I'm sorry, Maggie.
You laid it out, but I didn't.
I did lay it out, but
I got my.
Took it out of there.
I got my shirt.
Not gonna do you any good, is it?
I'm sorry, Maggie. I wish some of our viewers had last names like Smith and Jones, because I know I butcher the names. But Mark Coudron wanted to know. Here's his comment. I always end up picking away at those little projects, and that's what we were doing in the one that he commented on. I guess my only question is, why didn't you relocate the existing TV to the back? And was there something about that TV that you didn't like?
So that was the video on you moving the TV and cutting
Right.
the hole and all that stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess the biggest reason we didn't do that is we already had a smart TV that we'd purchased for the Revel. And even though Winnebago says that TV that comes in the EKKO is a smart TV, it's really just a dumb 24-inch TV that's made semi-smart by the fact that the Blu-ray player connects to Netflix and Hulu, but not a lot of other apps.
And we don't use a Blu-ray player anymore.
I guess that's the reason we didn't relocate that one back there. We certainly could have. We would have just had to move the Blu-ray player or connect something else to it. So,
and I think somebody else asked, why did we move the TV back there?
It's a good question.
And for me, the only time we really watch TV is like the very last thing at night, just to unwind and stuff. So we usually lay in bed to do that. So we're a lot more comfortable back there. Even sitting, you can kind of sit up or you can lay down, whatever. So that's the reason we wanted it in the bedroom.
We just didn't see ourselves sitting up there in those seats. And I guess the other reason is where it's positioned, you're just going to sit in those two passenger seats back there, which kind of sit straight up and down, and they work well to drive around in, but I wouldn't want to sit there and watch a 2-hour movie in that position if I had to.
Probably not.
So, yeah, I hope that answers the question, Mark.
I guess you kind of got a twofer there. Somebody else asked the other question. I'm not really sure who.
We'll try to find it, but if we don't, thanks for the question.
So what's the next question?
Everybody's dying to know what the next question is.
I bet they are. Let's hear it.
I'm just glad I saved this before we got up here because I'm just in SOS mode.
Oh, yeah. We don't have any signal up here.
Yeah. Okay, the next question comes from Mark W. Hi, Owen. Enjoying the informative videos. Thanks a lot. Just got a van with a ProMaster chassis and looking for a bike rack. Do you remember the bike rack that you had on the Travato? Thanks in advance. Well, I think I answered this, but just in case anyone else wants to know, the bike rack that we found that works really, really well was the Fiamma bike rack.
Yeah. And it was a great bike rack. We both was really impressed with the company and how it was shipped and packed and
came in a coffin. You could have buried me in it.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. So that's the bike rack we purchased. I think we got it from eTrailer, but you can find it on eBay and other places, and every now and then you can find it in stock on Amazon. We kept a lot of the pieces for that Fiamma bike rack when we made the bike rack for the trailer.
Yeah.
It served its purpose and repurposed in there. And by the way, we've now sold the trailer to the same family that bought the Revel, and they're coming to pick it up in 2 weeks, and they're going to use the bike rack for their e-bikes. So it's really
awesome.
cool. And
yeah, we're excited. So Rock Rubber J asked us, what do you use to ensure that you don't run into any low clearances while you're traveling?
Duck.
We do duck sometimes.
we're at an age where we turn the radio down so we can see better. So honestly, when we go under something like a car wash or a low bridge, inevitably we both are going to duck. A lot of people will use the Garmin RV unit for navigation, and it does a really good job of identifying low bridges and other things. But one of the only arguments I can remember us ever getting into while traveling, especially in a van, was coming back from Maine and getting on the interstate that all of a sudden just said it had an 8-foot clearance bridge ahead, and Lynn didn't know what to do to help me. I didn't know. We didn't have a really good signal, and you remember that? It was a stressful time. I think the only time we've ever both thought about stopping van travel like that. So
because it's stressful when you've got a lot of traffic behind you and everything. And
yeah. No place to turn around. We were in the Travato then, so it doesn't need as high clearance as the EKKO does now. But what we use is an app called RV Parky. You hear us talking about that all the time, but RV Parky is how we plan the routes. And when I'm planning the routes, what I usually will do is look on there, and I'll show a few screenshots of this. It'll show little yellow warning signs with the bridge clearance right beside of that of any route that has a low bridge clearance. And so what I'll do is go into Google Maps, and I'll put a waypoint at each one of those places if I know we're going that direction. So I know if it sends me that way, I don't need to go, and I need to go a different direction.
And of course, the other thing that we do is, we've got 4 eyes on the road all the time,
6 counting Maggie.
Yeah, 6 counting Maggie, but she doesn't really look for
squirrels.
Yeah, but we're, I'm over there looking, or if he's, if I'm driving, he's over there looking to make sure that, nothing's going to be coming up, and, if there's wrecks on the side of the road, if there's a low clearance or whatever. So you just got another set of eyes to keep the eye on it.
Typically, if you're on the interstate or on a major highway, you don't have to worry about it. It's when you get off to kind of run over and go to Chicken Salad Chick, or you want to go over to Best Buy or something.
But I'll be honest with you, it's not as stressful in a van or in the EKKO as it used to be when we were traveling in a fifth wheel, because in a fifth wheel, it's really hard to turn those things around or back up and get out of the way and in a bunch of traffic. So.
But right now, even in the EKKO, we're no taller than a UPS truck. So if we're following someone in a neighborhood and there's a UPS truck there, I usually don't worry about it. Cool name too, Rock. I wish my name was Rock.
That is a cool name.
So the last question comes from Leslie Peralta. Hope I got that close. We love your YouTube channel. We live in Florida, but we also have property in North Carolina, and you highlight the Southeast really well. Thanks. We're glad you enjoy that. We also enjoy the original music by me. Hey, that's true. Every now and then I'll stick one of my songs in there, and you'll hear one of my songs. I try to tell you in the comments or in a little tag that I have. But what they really wanted to know, and a lot of people have asked us this, are you guys going to be at the Tampa RV Super Show on January 19th this year? So, are we?
Right now, I think the plan is that we will be there.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Things always change with us a lot, but we are planning to go. And we would love to meet as many people as we could. I'm not sure if we'll do a formal meetup or anything like that, because it's just not, really what we do.
Send us an email or reach out to us on Facebook and let us know that you'd be interested in doing a meetup. And if enough of you want to do that, then we'll entertain that. But we certainly hope that while we're there, we'll get to meet a lot of you and we'll get to sit down and talk and just see how you're using your EKKO, or if you don't have one yet and you want to know about it, or if you have your van or your schoolie or whatever you're traveling in, we love going. I imagine that Lynn and I will hang out around the EKKO group simply because that's what we have right now. But if you'll let us know you're there, we certainly can meet up with you, and we'd love to do that.
I think one of the things that I know, we went one year and we camped on the fairgrounds, and I'm sure we'll do that again. And we camped with like all the Travatos. So if there's a place to do that with the EKKOs, I'm sure we'll camp with all the EKKOs. Or if there's not a place for EKKOs, we'll just camp with the Travato people. Yeah,
we'll camp somewhere. We'll park it somewhere and pay extra to sleep there. You know, there's a lot to do there, and we're looking forward to it. But going along with that, I think our fall trip this year, we're planning to go through the state of Georgia and end up at the coast and spend some time there before Thanksgiving. I think we plan to go back home and be with family then until right after Christmas. And then we're going to start meandering down the South Carolina and Georgia and Florida coast, and then get over to the RV Tampa Super Show.
Unless things change, which, you know, we know they always do, we will probably come back home for a month after the Tampa RV show, and then I think we're going to head back out west. I think I've talked Owen into doing that.
It's a long ways to go. This time I think we're just going to leave from home, beeline it out there, and stay on the coast from as far south as we can go all the way up to maybe the Canadian border this year, and stay out there for a while and really enjoy that.
I mean, there's just so much that we didn't get to see last year that we really want to go back and try to see, and, you know, see some of our favorite things again. So that's this week's walk-in Q&A.
More like a sitting Q&A.
Yeah, it was a sitting Q&A, but we had to walk to get here.
We had to walk up the side of a mountain.
Thanks for being with us.